Greetings students, and I hope that you're well and good today. For today's online class, we will be looking at predicting meanings of words from context. Basically what it means is that when you're faced with a text like this and you have a lot of words that you read, sometimes you may come across a bit of unfamiliar words. So what do you do with them? You guess. How do you guess? Based on the context that surrounds the word. So those words actually give you clues as to what the unknown word is. In order to do that, there are actually a few ways which I will share with you later. And this is actually very important because sometimes in a reading text like this, they may ask questions such as the one that you see over here. Can you see? Question number 28. Pitfall means what? This is one of their favorite questions which they like to ask. So if that's the case, you have to be able to guess accurately what the meaning of the word is in order for you to score for this question. Okay, so without further ado, let's look at some of the notes that I have prepared for you here and some of the examples that I have given as well. So what is word in context? Basically, as I mentioned earlier, using the words from the surrounding text of the unknown word to help determine the unknown word's meaning. And there are a few ways which you can do this. You can use synonyms or definitions which appear around the text, or you can use examples that are given which talks about the story of that text or that paragraph and that is related to that word. Or sometimes instead of giving you synonyms, they give you antonyms. Later you will see examples of all this. Then you'll be able to understand further what I'm talking about. And then finally, you may infer the meaning of the word. Inference basically means, making inference basically means guessing the meaning of those words based on your own experiences or your own from readings and your own general knowledge. These kind of words do not have clues around in the passage. You have to try to guess on your own based on your own general knowledge. Alright, we look at synonyms and definitions first. Basically, synonym is a word or phrase that means the same or very similar to another word. So sometimes they may give you the exact same one. Later you will see the example that I give you. Or sometimes they may give you definition to describe the meaning of the word inside the text. And these clues can be used to help to discover the meaning of the word, as I mentioned earlier. And sometimes there are signals that are given to help you to identify the synonyms or the similar phrases that explain. What do I mean by signals? For example, words like means. For example, earlier the word pitfall inside this text. Pitfall means, so maybe inside the text they will tell you, pitfall basically means something. Or pitfall also referred to as what inside the text. Or pitfall is similar to blah blah blah, something inside the text. So for example, let me give you a few. For this first one, days after he made a flippant remark in class, he regretted sounding so disrespectful. Which do you think is the answer here? What does it mean by flippant? Here you can guess. Flippant may mean disrespectful because it is referred to the same idea of what he felt. After he made the remark, he felt that he was disrespectful. So what kind of remark was it? It was a disrespectful remark. I hope you get what I mean here. If you don't really understand what I'm talking about, you can always ask me later in class. Or another example for you here. Ballet students appear so lithe. They are so limber and flexible. So you can see in the second part of the sentence, they have actually elaborated on what lithe means. Limber and flexible. Okay, next one. Wait, maybe you can see the bottom here. The Milky Way is littered with dark obscuring clouds of dust commonly referred to as coal sacks. So here you can guess coal sacks may mean dark obscuring clouds of dust because of the word referred to. So there's a link over there. Okay, get it? Alright, next one. Now we look at how they use examples to help you guess the meaning of the words. So they actually illustrate the word that they are referring to, and words that they use, the signals are words like for example, for instance, such as, things like that. Okay, let me show you some examples. Legumes, such as peas and beans, produce pods. So here you can see legumes here means peas and beans because they relate to, it's describing, is an example of what legumes are, such as what. So here you can see the meaning. Alright, another example here. Forest floors are frequently covered with fungi. What is fungi? Then the example is given to you here. Molds, mushrooms, and mildews. Next one. Networks allow users to share high-tech gaskets. What are high-tech gaskets? Such as iPads, tablets. So now you know what high-tech gaskets are. Another one. Since she retired from her job, she has developed new avocations. What are avocations? So for example, internet, going to the cinema, and gardening, meaning things which are not part of her usual vocation. It's avocations, extra things like hobbies. Okay? Alright, then we move on to the next type. You can use antonyms as well to guess the meaning. Alright, antonyms means the opposite of the other word. So some of the contrast clue words are words like but, however, in contrast, on the other hand. For example, the gentleman was portly, but his wife was thin. So here you can guess the wife was thin, but the wife was thin, so he was portly. So portly basically means what? Maybe a bit more plump, fat, bigger, definitely not thin, the opposite of thin. Alright, the next one. Let me just move my face first. Okay, the mayoral candidate praised the town council, but the mayor deprecated it. So, the town council was praised. The mayor deprecated it. That means it's the opposite of praise lah. Maybe it's insult. He didn't like the opposite of being praised. Put down. Alright, next one. The glass absorbed so much acoustic energy that it shattered, although the other glasses remain unaffected. So, if the glasses remain unaffected, that means those other glasses did not shatter. That means they did not break lah. Nothing happened to it. So, whereas for this one, the glass shattered, it broke. So, the opposite of unaffected, it was affected, it broke. Final one, to keep healthy, people need to be active. If they remain stagnant, it could result in the loss of vitality and health. Alright, so if they are stagnant, they will be at a loss. Whereas if they are healthy, what should they do? They need to be active. So the opposite of stagnant would be active. So the meaning of stagnant would be not doing anything lah. Just remain the same. Alright, because of the word if. If tells you it's the opposite meaning. Okay, I hope that you can get it here so far. Okay, final one. You can also use inferences to help you. Inferences basically means the use of reasoning or prior knowledge to help you guess the meaning of something. And your experiences provide some kind of common sense clues to the meaning of the word. And this kind of clue is usually often a little harder to spot. That's why because it uses a bit more things which are inside your head. It cannot be easily seen inside the paper, unlike just now. For example, okay, since Reginald was nervous, he brought his rabbit foot talisman with him to the exam. So what is talisman? Okay, here you know that when you go to the exam, you are nervous. So he brought something. Wait, you can't see. So he brought something to the exam hall, right? Talisman. So what do you think talisman is? Something like a rabbit foot. You know what's rabbit foot, right? The kaki of the Arnab. So talisman here probably means some kind of charm or a lucky amulet or something that he brought to the exam so that he's less nervous. Alright, next one. His alibi was upheld when John's friends offered personal testimony and video recording showing that he was present at the party. So what does it mean by alibi? Alright, so here the friends need to show that he was there at the party. So they have to give some kind of proof. So when they gave the proof, his alibi was upheld. So probably alibi means that there was something that could prove that he was there lah. Something strong, proof. Okay? Alright. Next one. Physicians usually allow football players to resume play once symptoms abate, perhaps within days. So probably if physicians basically means doctors, if football players, they get hurt while playing, so they cannot play. But then the doctors allow them to play once the symptoms abate. That means if they got hurt, the symptoms, does it become worse or does it become better? Then only they can play. Of course, it means that it becomes better, or the symptoms have reduced. Then only they're allowed to play. So here you can guess based on your own background knowledge and your own guess. You know that, all right, in order for them to play, whatever symptoms that they go through has to reduce. It cannot be more or it cannot be worse. All right, so abate means reducing something. Finally, a machine will essentially be a surrogate for human geologists exploring Mars. So what is a surrogate? So human geologists, you know what, Mars is a place in space, a planet which nobody can go to. So if they place the machine there, the machine will be a surrogate. So meaning it's sort of like a replacement for the human being, taking over the place of a human. So surrogate means a replacement or something like that. All right, so again, based on your own background knowledge, you have to guess. Okay, some more for you to try. This one you can try on your own. Okay, he seemed quite free and easy with a few friends, but at large parties, he was quite inhibited. So here, free and easy is being free and easy, but at large parties. So what does it mean by but? It's the opposite, showing you the opposite of being free and easy, meaning that at large parties, he wasn't being as free and easy as he was. So the opposite of free and easy. Okay. Next one. Embassies typically follow well-established protocols or accepted procedures for seating guests at government dinner. So over here, the word protocol is given another synonym at the side here, or accepted procedure. So protocol means some kind of procedure that is given at a certain place. Okay, next one. Corona refers to the outermost part of the sun's atmosphere. This is very direct. It refers to what? Outermost part of the sun's atmosphere. So that is what corona means. Facets. All right, small flat surfaces at different angles bring out the beauty of a diamond. So even if you don't know what facets are, so you know that diamond is basically round like this, and it says small flat surfaces. So oh, okay. So these small flat surfaces are called facets because it is described over here. All right, a few more for you. Okay, most condiments such as pepper and mustard are used to improve the flavor. So here is given to you. What are condiments? Pepper and mustard. Extra flavors that you can put in the food. Next one. Some city dwellers are affluent, whereas others live in poverty. So whereas tells you the opposite of the meaning of something. So affluent, whereas the others are in poverty. So affluent is the opposite, probably rich. Okay. Next one. The chrome is beginning to corrode. It shows signs of pitting and being eaten away. So chrome is some kind of metal which is starting to corrode. So you don't know the meaning of corrode. So it's eaten away. So probably that means it is rusting. The condition of the metal is slowly beginning to become worse and worse. So that's corrode. Okay. Final one. The wallabies at the zoo look like kangaroos. So wallabies are something like kangaroos, looks like that. Okay, one more. Many people have phobias such as fear of heights, fear of water, fear of confined spaces. So phobia means fear of something. Okay, alright, so those are basically some of the examples I've given to you. If let's say you want to try to take some time to understand more, you can pause the video, then you can go through some of these words. After this, what I would like you to do is to try out the quizzes that I've prepared for you in the Google class, and we will see how you perform in that quizzes. Okay? Alright, I hope you understand. If you have any further questions, you may ask me. But basically, I think this is pretty straightforward. You just need to practice and try and continue reading so that you are more and more exposed to words and new vocabulary. And the more you practice, the more you see the words, the more you'll know the meanings and know how to use them as well. Alright? Okay, so I'll see you again in the next class. Till then, bye! Have a nice day.